What is up, everyone? Happy Friday. Going? How's everyone going? How's everyone doing? I hope you guys aren't going anywhere. Welcome to Friday night stream hangout. Do some painting tonight. I got some cool stuff to talk about, so hopefully you guys stick around for that. And yeah, we're gonna do some painting. Oh, what's going on? Headphones in. I apparently said I was going to stream on Wednesday, which I apologize about because I don't like to be flaky on my stream schedule. And I did end up not streaming on Wednesday because I thought I said I was going to stream on Thursday. And then on Thursday, I couldn't stream. So anyway, so I apologize for that. And in general, I think I'm going to be probably doing a little bit less streaming just because right now, there's just like it's just not there for me right now. Like I kind of want to just do it when I want to do it rather than feel like it's like a burden, I guess. So I'll definitely still be streaming. I'll still be streaming, but it's gonna be kind of inconsistent. I got some new projects that I'm working on right now, some professional projects. I'm obviously, I think some of you guys know that I'm not with my previous job, so I'm working on a new project for that. And I also, and this is kind of like a crazy potential, I don't know if this is going to happen, but there's a very small chance that I might travel to Poland. This sounds crazy. And volunteer for World Central Kitchen, which is Jose Andreas's kitchen. They're doing meals for refugees out of Ukraine. So because I'm not employed right now and I've been planning to go out to Europe anyways, I'm just looking into the logistics right now, but I figured I'm going to go to Europe. I should go do something helpful and holistic and like something where I can apply my skills as a chef. So I'm just looking into that right now. Which means I definitely won't be streaming. And my plan at the moment is if I do end up going, to go for about 2 months. No, I'm not gonna join the jihad. And it's not a jihad, so that's slightly mischaracterized. But that is, it's one of those things where I've started to think about it more and more. And I think the thing that's holding me back right now is like once I figure out the logistics, I think I'm gonna make the decision quickly and I'm gonna be going quickly. Like it's not gonna be like, it just kind of came to me in the last like 48 hours, this idea. And I know there are people doing it. So if I do end up doing it, obviously I'm gonna be out of the country. I'll have my laptop, but I obviously won't be bringing Warhammer stuff. Speaking of Warhammer stuff, let's talk about what we're gonna be working on today. Let's see here. So, I got my nails painted. Hope you guys like them. Very happy with them. These are actually, they're gel nail polish. So you see, I'm very like new in the world of nail polish, but I've been always used like regular nail polish, like this, like enamel nail polish, right? And this like it just comes off the acetone. But I got these done last time, and this is the same stuff. It's like an ultraviolet like resin gel. So they like last actually quite a bit, but you have to get them like cured with UV light and they're like super tough. So got that today. And then, oh, wrong one. Back to here. All right, so let's see here. So what are we working on today? So scouts, you guys have seen my scouts so far that I've made kind of finished. I feel like the lighting's always a little bit up a notch. Oh, boom. That's bright. So, there. There. That's probably better. Okay. So, I'm working on scouts. This is kind of the finished test scout. And then I have the 4 rest of the scouts, which are fairly close to being at that point. I still have to do the leather, the gems, the helmets. But basically, that's basically all I need to do to get them to that point. So I'm going to be working on that tonight, I guess. And you'll notice that I attached some These are old objective markers to the bottoms of my corks. They kept falling over, and I was really nervous about the the barrels on these sniper rifles because they kept like landing like on the barrels, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna end up breaking these plastic sniper rifles before I'm gonna end up breaking these sniper rifles before it's too late. So I decided to put I just double-sided taped some little things to them, so now they stand up really well. What are you guys working on? Let me know tonight. Another big announcement. Well, it's not a big announcement, but I wanted to share it with you guys. Hold me accountable. I am on the sobriety train right now, and it's something that I'm like, working on. I don't know if it's gonna be a forever thing, but I have had a pretty hectic, I guess that's the word I'll use. I'll use the word hectic or intense start of the year so far. Especially being kind of not that busy with work and not having really work. So I've kind of noticed that it's been a little bit psychotic, my fun times. So I'm trying to practice sobriety. So it's basically 2 weeks today. I think a little bit more than 2 weeks. It'll be 2 weeks tomorrow exactly, I think, since my last drink. It was exciting. And anything else as well. No other substances. So I worked out 5 days this week, which makes me feel really good. But it's definitely going to be a struggle forever, because I think this is one of those things where my friend groups are not the most conducive to this. So I definitely feel like I'm gonna have to figure out how I can make it sustainable. And yeah, my goal isn't to never drink again. I don't think that's, or never do anything again. But I need to kind of reset my brain, because I've been such working in hospitality for all these years. You get this kind of mode of this level of I guess drinkingness, I guess. And I kind of need to reset myself a little bit, just because and take some time off from it, so that I can kind of do it responsibly without it ever being a crazy thing. So I appreciate that. Congratulations. All right, so what I'm gonna do first on these guys, the more I've painted these, the more I've I need to do something else on the cloak. I know we kind of went back on this on one of the paint streams where I was yeah, I think I'm gonna leave the cloaks blank, and I kind of was I'll leave it, come back for it. But the more I've done these, the more I'm unhappy with the cloaks, basically, and I definitely feel like I need to do something. So it could be just as simple as some transfers, but I'm gonna get them finished first. And you'll notice they're still not on these the right bases. So I ordered these bases from Micro Art Studios, which is I think they're out of actually Poland. Yeah, they're out of Poland because it was sent on Polish post, and it was shipped in mid-February. And it's still not here. So it's been in transit for a month, which is really shit. Not super stoked about that. Hey guys, my social life. I'm trying to bat away all the temptation to do anything outside my house. So yeah, just kind of going in right now. I'm just going to work on the belts right now. I can't tell if it's too bright, because my monitor is quite bright from the lights. So is it too dark, or is it too bright, you think, the visuals? So let me know if it's either or. I'll adjust it. But yeah, that's kind of been what's been going on. So that's a pretty big thing if I end up going to Poland. Could be a cool, not cool, because obviously it's a shitty circumstance, but I think it'll be good for me to kind of go and do something that's holistic, and kind of where I can give back and not feel not destructive, which is kind of what I've been doing the last little while. So I'm hoping I figure it out, and one way or another. I'm not, as I said again, I'm not sure if it's going to happen 100%. I'm still looking into logistics, the details, what I need to do to do it, but it's enough of a serious thing that I think it's a 50-50 at this point. Hey guys, I'm not going to any Craft World London. I don't even have the codex yet. So my Craft World is my own custom Craft World, basically. I'll probably play Ulthway. I did write a list in Army Builder, Battlescribe. I think Army Builder doesn't exist. I did build a kind of a preliminary list in Battlescribe, so I have some idea of kind of my starting army. But as I said in the last stream, you guys gotta understand, like, I'm being really hesitant. I'm being really like cautious not to overbuy. And it's like so tempting too, because I want stuff, right? Like, especially like I want everything that I want, right? And I'm trying to be really, really careful not to like over purchase stuff, because basically all I have right now that like I'm gonna be painting for my army is like this unit of scouts. I have another unit which I'm gonna probably paint fairly soon, because I think two of scouts is gonna be a fairly good score. And then I have two Night Spinners, and then I have two Autarchs, and I have 6 Shroud Runners. Now the Shroud Runners, I don't think I'm gonna run in like my initial lists. It doesn't sound like they're very good, so I probably won't build and assemble those right now. I'll probably just leave those in the box. And I have a Hemlock as well, or Crimson Hunter. It's not built yet, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna make it into. But basically, my goal is to not end up with like a giant pile of shame and like a bunch of stuff purchased, but like most of it not painted, because the best thing that gets me motivated to paint is like buying that next thing or getting that next thing. And I want the next thing, right? But if I have to paint these units first, like if I don't let myself if I start buying stuff now that I don't actually need, or that's not gonna get painted right away, I'm gonna get into like a painter's kind of like rut where I get demotivated because I'll have so much to paint. So normally what I like to do is set a rule for myself where I only kind of have what's in front of me and the next unit. So I have what I'm painting right now plus the next unit. The next unit I will build and I'll kind of have in front of me. So it's like, there's my reward for finishing this unit. So it's like, I'm going to paint this next, and then I'm going to start this next cool unit that I want to paint. And then generally what I'll like to do there is I'll alternate between things I actually really, really like want to paint, and then things that maybe I'm not as excited to paint. Like these Rangers I did initially want to paint, but at this point they're kind of dragging on and I'm like kind of like over them. So I'm hoping to kind of finish them up tonight, or at least get them very close. I don't think I'll finish them tonight because I don't know how long we'll stream, but there's probably a good like 3-4 hours left on the unit. Actually not that much. It's basically helmets, finish the leather, and then gems, and then we're basically done, which is not that much, but I gotta go back and correct everything, and then I gotta go back and kind of figure out the cloaks, so it could be a little bit more than that. But I find that's the best approach for me, is to keep myself not over purchasing. And then today I went and I almost bought like a bunch of Void Weavers and like Harlequins and like other stuff that like again would arrive at my house and just sit there like for, I don't know, 2 months while I got the rest of the stuff that I'd already purchased painted, right? So I'm trying really, really hard not to do that, not to fall into that trap. And it's something that I would recommend doing. I know a lot of people like to buy their armies and then, yeah, but the thing is like, here's what I recommend, Blendon, is like, and this is what I recommend for every army, to be honest. Don't ever paint your army in a standardized color scheme that matches one from like the book. So like, yes, Ulthway is the black armor, but like paint a unique color scheme, right? And then you can play them as whatever you want as the meta changes. So as certain things get better, you can play them as different forces. Like if I painted this army as Biel-Tan and put Biel-Tan transfers and Biel-Tan everything on it, it would be really weird to play it as Ulthway, because people are like, what the fuck? It's a Biel-Tan army. But if I paint it as my own custom Craft World color, which is what I'm doing, then I can say it's a count as Ulthway army, or it's a count as Biel-Tan army, or it's a count as Samhain army. So, and people aren't really like gonna be like mad at that. They're like, oh, that's fine. It's like your own custom Craft World. So in that sense, I don't think it's a big problem to like have things like not like you don't have to paint them as all the way, right? Is my point, I guess. I'm trying to make. So. And I definitely wouldn't, right? So I do that with almost all my armies, right? Like my chaos was like that. My soul drinkers, like my soul drinkers is the perfect example. There's no chapter rules for soul drinkers, and the great thing about them is I can play them as whatever chapter I want, right? Someone actually DM'd me today, and they're like, "Hey, like, where do I get the rules for soul drinkers? Like, which codex do I use?" And I was like, "Whichever one you want, man." That's the great thing about having like off color chapters, right? Is like you can play them as whatever you want, and people can't really get mad at you because you can basically just do whatever, right? But I also have on order, I got some 3D printed striking scorpions, or not striking scorpions. Oh no, maybe they are striking scorpions. What did I get? I ordered some 3D printed, I think they're striking scorpions. Yeah, I ordered some 3D printed striking scorpions. That's correct. So those are hopefully going to be here soon. And then I'm also going to be working on, yeah, exactly. So that's my point, Striker. And then I'm also going to be working on, after I'm done these, I'm hoping by the time these are done, I don't know if any of you guys play Final Fantasy 14, but it's one of the games that I play. It's one of my favorite games. I have a 3D printed Usholta, who is one of the characters from the game. So like a 1/6 scale version of her. So I'll probably be painting that actually, if I can squeeze it in before I paint any more Eldar, because I'm really excited to do that project. And that's kind of the nice thing about something that I would highly recommend is like, obviously, you know, most of the stuff is Warhammer, but like it's nice to fit in some stuff that's not like Warhammer once in a while. So for this specific, the Striking Scorpion specifically, I believe there was a company, like I want to say like a Patreon / Kickstarter. I think it was a Patreon, 3D Sculptor Patreon. So I have the files, and then I just sent them to a local guy that has a high quality resin 3D printer that does like 3D printing for the locals, and I think he charged me only $30 for the whole like unit of like 10 dudes. So that's nice. Pretty good price, I guess, because the resin's actually quite cheap. Yeah, but I think, and then the Usholta model, which is like much larger, I have a box of Terminators, 1,000 Suns Terminators, that I'm gonna just trade for him. So basically $30 for 2 models. But I would just Google if you really want something like that. Just Google like whatever you're looking for. Just Google like say you're looking for Howling Banshees. Google like Howling Banshees STLs, and then you should be able to find that stuff. It's out there. And sometimes it's behind like a paywall. Sometimes like it'll be on like say like Thingiverse, which I think is like free. So it just depends on like where you end up getting it. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Yeah, $30 for 10 Striking Scorpions is pretty good, and they're nice. With that said, though, I just saw that today, and this is kind of exciting. Games Workshop just announced their next round of Grand Tournaments, US Opens, and they're actually having one in Seattle, which is like 2 hours away from me. And it's in May. It's the start of May. So my gut feeling is that I'm not going to have this army painted, 2,000 points of it, in time. Just given my current schedule and like the rate at which I'm painting models and the fact that I like haven't even played a game with this army and I have no idea kind of what I'm going to be doing with it. So I'm not confident that I will have an army painted by then, but it's kind of cool to see a US Open here. I actually went to the Seattle Grand Tournament in like I think 2004, 2003, 2004. I went to the Seattle Grand Tournament, which was like one of the last Games Workshop events they had in the like ever before they kind of canceled the whole series. That was really cool. But yeah, that's there's also one in San Diego, I think, that they announced. That's pretty cool as well. Ready to kind of, I think if they have it in Seattle, I might even just go down and hang out or just play Sorry guys, I got some weird text now. Sorry, my friend just lost their phone and they were like giving me their new number. Anyways, I don't know what I was saying. So I'm excited to go down to the Seattle event, just to see everyone. I don't know who's going to be there, but obviously I know like sorry guys, dealing with some shit. So yeah, so I'm excited to go down to Seattle if they do have the event, just to hang out. But I don't know if that's gonna happen either, depending on what my life situation is, if I'm still in the country from somewhere else. And May is a long time away. I have so guys, check this out. Oh no, you know what? I think I'm in Mexico that week. I think I'm in Mexico. I think I'm at a wedding. Let me check this. Email. Am I at a wedding? Wedding. Let's see here. Do the card. Wedding card here. April 26th. Ah, see, I won't be here, I don't think. Oh no. Oh, I will be back. So I'm actually in Cancun for a wedding, April 26th to May 3rd. So that's like a week. I think that's a week. So my best friend's getting married, so I'm going to be going to Mexico for a week. And then I have, check this out guys, and then I have 3 weddings, all in like a 30-day span. 2 in back-to-back weekends, all in Ontario, in Toronto. So I'm going to be out in Toronto, Ontario for a while. I'm hoping, you know, I'll probably hopefully try to get a game in against Scary. Maybe even like, maybe even play with the guys at BD Wargaming. See if I can maybe get a game in. That'd be kind of cool. Get on the channel. But we'll see where I'm at with this army, because I'm kind of like slow painting it, I guess. I'm like really not in a rush to get back to like playing competitive right now. Just with obviously I don't know if some of you guys saw the fake balance data slate floating around. It has been confirmed fake. Oh, blur. It has been confirmed fake, but it was really funny seeing people's reactions to like and honestly, whoever made it like put a lot of effort into it, but don't do that. Like, it's the community's already like toxic enough, and all I was seeing today was like half the competitive community being like good riddance, and then all of the casual community, like the non like tournament players, being like that play match play, right? So there's a huge subset of players that play match play but don't play in tournaments. But generally the kind of the rule, I would say, is that if something is a match play rule that's been like implemented for tournaments, say like the rule of 3, say like the deep strike rule, I'll tell you what's on in a sec striker, then generally what happens is those get adopted for all match play universally. So you end up with this system where casual players generally, again, this is general, obviously you can agree to your opponent to play with whatever rules you want, it's your game, but generally what happens is like they release a balanced data slate or beta rules or new missions or whatever, and generally what happens is everyone plays those same rules. So there's not like the casuals, the non-tournament players would play one set of match play rules, and like everyone else plays a separate set. Now, that's not always the case. As I said, you can obviously agree to your opponent with whatever, but generally people build lists based around the most current up-to-date match play rules. And so what was happening today, which is like kind of why I say like don't do that, is you had this huge swath of casual players that don't basically play in tournaments, but probably play match play a lot, and are kind of at the whims of the balance changes in the match play. Basically mad because the tournament players, quote unquote, had ruined their armies for them, right? And so like one of the changes, for instance, was that like Trahan, because of like the way that basically like that you couldn't even take Trahan anymore. He's basically gone back to Terra. Like that was like, and for this rest of the season of like Warzone Nakman, which is like the current GT season, you just can't play him. Like he's an illegal unit. Another change was like that, like crisis suits were like 0 to 1 per army, right? So now you have all these people with 2 units of crisis suits and their tower armies, and they've gone to 0 to 1. So you have this huge group of people complaining about how competitive players had ruined the game for them, right? They'd ruined like, you know, they've come in and they've implemented their, you know, because they broke the game and it's all their fault, etc., etc. And then you had a bunch of other players on the competitive side being like good riddance and yelling at the casual players. So it was just this like huge kind of stupid clusterfuck of people fighting. And the fakes were very well done. So like kudos to whoever Photoshop skills, and the whole story of like how they got leaked is very credible, which is they were accidentally put up on GW community. They're like basically screenshots from GW community going over the changes, and basically saying they went up for like briefly and then they were taken down, which is like happened 1,000 times on. It's not like a you know, this implausible story that happens literally all the time where shit goes up on Warhammer community and then it has to get like taken back because it wasn't supposed to be live. Like that's not like a new phenomenon or like something that like is unbelievable. So all these people basically were complaining, and it seemed a little bit like, I don't know, I didn't think that they would do something like that. Like, I don't know why you'd ban units ever. Just raise the points, right? That's always been GW's like, hey, Arthur, how's it going? That's always been Games Workshop's like method, right? It's never been to like ban units outright. Obviously they sometimes limit the number of units, but they've never gone out and like just banned a unit, right? Like wholesale. So I didn't really buy it, to be honest, but obviously a lot of people did, and there's a lot of upset people over it, right? Getting really mad at like the competitive players, and I just don't think the community needs that right now. Like the meta's in the trash bin right now, and everyone is already like pretty like on like at a shitty place mentally when it comes to like the state of the game. And so making a fake balance data sheet just to throw like gasoline on the fire and then have all this drama created only for it to end up being fake, I just think it's like whoever did it, like it's a shitty thing to do. and it doesn't actually if you care about the game that much to make a data sheet like that, like obviously whoever did it must care about the game or play the game, right? So if you care about the game and you play the game, don't make the game worse by making the community all like rabid, right? And that's exactly what the outcome was. So next thing, like, I just wouldn't do something like that, right? Like, it's not a good thing for the community because it's a negative impact on the community as a whole, and it doesn't actually really do anything as far as like it's not like GW is going to look at that and address it, or look at that and take your suggestions or anything of that sort, right? So in the end, all it does is it hurts the player base. And if you like the game, if you're a fan of 40K enough to go through all the effort of making a fake data sheet, then you're hurting the game. And why would you hurt a game that you like, right? Like what benefit does that bring? It doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, because the state of the game always does suck, Arthur. Like it ebbs and flows, right? The problem is Games Workshop, it seems like they can't rein themselves in. Like, I would say after the AdMech and Drukhari nerfs, but before the Custodes and Talbot came out, the state of the game was like, the problem is overall, some of the codexes are missing. So certain factions, demons, Chaos Space Marines, Guard, Tyranids until they're out, obviously, and Knights, right? These factions just can't compete at all. And then you have this other set of factions. You have your kind of A tier factions that have books, and then you have all the other books that have been released that are subpar. So you have kind of 3 tiers of armies right now. You have the kind of A tier, top tier. You have your B tier, which is armies with new books out, but just not good new books. Death Guard. We're talking, all the Space Marines. We're talking, like Orcs or like Sisters of Battle. These are armies with books out, but their books aren't good right now. And then you have obviously your S tier, which is your Tau, your Custodes, your Drukhari and AdMech are probably still up there. And so you have this like clear power imbalances across the game. And Games Workshop can't seem, and first of all, until they get all the books out, which is like what they need to really focus on, they need to stop releasing supplements. Hey, thanks, Berg. Thanks for the follow, man. They need to stop releasing supplements and stuff because the supplements aren't helping the problem, right? Which is that the game is imbalanced. The supplements, in fact, if you look at, say, Tyranids with Pressure Stampede, are making it worse. They're making the problem worse. They're making the game more imbalanced. Yeah, but Striker, I agree with you, right? And they should be. But here's the thing. A great game sells more models than a shitty game, right? So why do people buy models? To play the game. Like, the majority of people will buy models, or sorry, let me rephrase that. More people will buy more models if the armies and factions have good rules and people want to play the game. Think about it right now. Like, when was in the last like 6 years, when 8th edition dropped and we had that full reset, and then we had like, that was kind of almost the golden age of 40K in a lot of ways. There's like the year, there's that gap before the new Space Marine book came out, right? And like the last 8th edition book had been released. There's this like 6-month gap or something like that, where 40K was like really, really in a good spot. And when the game is healthy, when the game is doing well, more people want to play, more people want to build armies, more people want to buy models. When the game is unhealthy, like it is right now, you have people like me, lots of tournament players that are they're just not interested in playing. Now, they might still buy things here and there, but they're not going to be building new armies. They're not going to be collecting. They're not going to be adding to their force. So this idea that like, oh, the rules don't matter because we got to sell models, I think it's so backwards, right? And I'm not saying that that's their mentality. I just don't think that's a good business decision. It's not just a bad decision. It's a bad business decision to like not have like balanced rules, because balanced rules means that when one of my friends is like, hey, I want to play this game called 40K, what should I won't be like, don't play it. The game is a shit. Is like is shit right now, because that's literally what I'll say right now. If I had someone that was like, hey, I want to play 40K, I'd be like, don't do it. Like, it's not, the game is not, it's not a good game right now, right? If you want to collect models, good, go for it. That's great. But don't, 40K as a game right now is not a good place, right? So that's kind of my thoughts on it. And like, you know, the distribution model needs to change. They need to get away from paperback books. You guys have heard me say that a million times. If they switch to digital rules, they're gonna be a lot more nimble to make changes. And the other thing too is, I mean, Finksburg, like here's what I'll say. The game right now is like not super balanced, but like if you're just getting into it, by the time you collect stuff, the game will probably be in a lot better state. You know what I'm saying? I hope anyways. So, and because it takes so long to like build and paint an army, it's something that like I definitely like encourage, obviously, because there's a whole part of the hobby that is not just the game, right? It's the painting, the modeling, all that other stuff, right? So don't let me completely discourage you, but I will tell you, if you're looking for yeah, exactly. And the thing is, Striker too as well, here's the other thing. Shitty rules don't sell models, but also when they put out new books, a lot of things have shitty rules that are new. So a perfect example is like, what would be a perfect example? Think about some of the Space Marine stuff that like they basically put in like those tanks and stuff, and the new land speeder storms or whatever those called, those big land speeders. Did we ever see any of those ever take off? No, because the rules were bad. So Games Workshop, I know everyone likes a conspiracy theory that like Games Workshop always makes new stuff really overpowered so they can sell the models, but like if you look at their history, their track record, that's clearly not the case. I don't even think they know what, see the problem is I don't even think they know what makes things good and overpowered, like enough to do that. Like, you'd have to know your game inside and out to know some things, like to intentionally make something like really, really strong. You'd have to know like the game really well, and I don't think they know that. Yeah, and like what I would say, Finksburg, is like if you're starting, like that's the thing, is like it takes so long to get an army like up and running. And there's the winds always change, right? So whatever's the flavor month today, it doesn't last forever. Some armies, like look here's a good example. Space Marines are bad right now, but Space Marines will 1000% get a new book before the end of the year. I guarantee it. They're gonna get a new book before the end of the year, and it's gonna be really, really good. Like you can take that to the bank, and you can save this clip for later. Space Marines will get and I'm gonna remember that on my March 11th cast that I predicted this, because it's literally the easiest prediction to make. Space Marines will get a book before the end of the year, and they will be good, and that really, really good and strong in that book. Why do I know that? Because healthy Space Marines is a healthy game, because so many people play Space Marines. So when the Space Marines are healthy, the game is healthy, right? And that can mean too healthy. That can mean they're too good, though. That definitely is possible, which has happened before. But 100% that's going to happen. So just be ready for that, right? No, the thing is, though, I don't agree with that, GR Striker. The reason I say that is because almost every mediocre to above average player can open the codexes and within 30 minutes of looking at the stratagems tell you what's really good, what's too good, and probably what's never going to get used. Almost every player with like a 90% accuracy can look at things like stratagems and special rules and say, hey, that's actually really strong, or that's actually a really good stratagem and that's like really cheap. Like that's a very like baseline ability that most players have. They can look at something and so like this idea that like there's 100 stratagems and it's too complex and no one can know what's balanced and it's all gonna hit the road and it's all gonna be a shit show. I strongly disagree with that. And then the other thing is, and this is what I've said from the fucking very beginning, if you did a digital rules model, what can you do? Well, you can do beta rules. So they did this with Sisters of Battle, right? They released rules for like some of the Sisters of Battle, and then people played with it and they gave feedback and then they adjusted the rules. Why is it, if they did a digital rules model, every codex could get a beta version that's released publicly? Just the rules, don't need to have the art, don't have to maybe have anything like that. Here's the beta rules, right? Everyone go out, test them, maybe get 2 months of testing, feedback, whatever, and then updates are made, and then the book is released, and it's like, hey, here's book 1.0. That solves so much problems, right? They're just not willing to do that, right? Because that's like selling paper and dead trees is like part of their business model. So the thing is, my point is, there are solutions to that problem. Games Workshop just doesn't want to do those solutions. It's not by any means, for a company as big as Games Workshop that makes as much money as Games Workshop, a like unsolvable or insurmountable problem. The question is like, do they actually want to do it, right? And I would say the answer is no in that sense. So I don't agree with your assertion. And the other thing that would enable us to do is we'd be able to like react to these things quicker. So as things are broken, you know, if there's like, you don't have to wait like a year for a chapter approved or whatever. You can digitally update the rules, and then everyone always has the most up-to-date rules, right? The rules should be free, if you ask me. If Games Workshop really wants to sell models, you make the rules fucking free, right? Because what does that mean? It means lots of people can try the game or get into the game a lot easier. The barrier to entry is a lot lower, and you're gonna sell more models. Like, if your goal is to sell more models, have people spend less money on fucking books. Because every dollar that would normally go into a book now goes into a model, right? Or alternatively, which is what I've advocated for a long time, and for those of you that have been following me for a while, you guys will know this because I've said it 1,000 times. Make the rules of it like you know, obviously there's the Warhammer app, which is garbage, but like have the rules available digitally via like a Warhammer Plus website, and then it's like subscription. So you pay something really cheap, $5.99 a month, right? And you get you basically have full access to all the codexes, all the rule books, all the updates, all the supplements as they're released. Now you can still release books. So instead of say releasing like the Warzone Nachman book with the army supplements and the rules, you can still have, say for instance, like your Crusade rules, all your fluff and background, all your painting and hobby stuff. You can have that still released in like a physical book, right? But the actual rules, points, data sheets, that kind of stuff, army building, like supplements, like anything that kind of affects army building, that goes digitally. So it's kind of like, yeah, I know they do. And like on top of all of that, the Games Workshop app is like cancer, right? It's like, it's awful. So it's not just that, like, it's not just about having an app, it's about having a good app, right? Because the Games Workshop app sucks. It absolutely blows. You can't even you can't actually like, you get a codex code, but like it doesn't give you like a digital version of your codex, right? It just unlocks the units of that codex for like their really shitty army builder. It'd be a different case if like, say for instance, on top of say having the access to all the units in the army builder, if on top of that the code gave you a digital version of your book access to, so like I can read the stories, I can read the painting articles, I can read all that stuff. If that was something that they did, that would be a different case, but obviously they don't do that. So I'm all fired up now. Um, thinking. Has anyone played? Anyone else finished Elden Ring like me? I need to really go back. My OCD side of me is telling me you should go back and replay a bunch of it so I can get like my full achievements. But I just really don't want to sink any more time in the game. I've already sunk like almost 100 hours. So I'm hesitant. I think that's what most people has been doing, is playing games right now. There's actually a lot of really good games coming out. I'm excited for I really need to finish Final Fantasy VII. But now that it's out on PC, I'm like debating whether I get it for PC and then restart. I don't know if anyone else has it for PC, like how the port is. I've heard mixed things about the port. Also, I bought a PS5, so it's like, should I just play the PS5? Like I have this PS5 collecting dust, and none of the games that I bought for it I'm playing, so that's not good either. But part of me also wants to play on my PC because I'm a PC guy. And I'm really bad at console controllers. I don't know, is there like a method to get better at console besides just playing? What else is going on? Yeah, so I'm waiting for Soldiers of Paradise to come out, Final Fantasy. Stranger Paradise or Soldier Paradise. I have Dragon Age Inquisition of still playthrough. I don't know if any of you guys have played through that. I have Nier Automata, the first and second ones. I really want to play through those. And then obviously, so I have quite a bit to play through still. Games. Backlog, but like it's hard because like I want to get painting, and gaming and painting time is the same time, so it's like if I'm gaming I'm not painting, right? So it's hard to like it's hard to justify. Elden Ring was obviously, I've been waiting forever, so I was like happy to like not paint for a week and a half to finish it, but then like once I finished it I was like, all right, that's it, back to painting. So me starting another game right now is just doesn't feel right. Highlight. I'm so sore, guys. I started since I'm sober now. Well, I'm not sober as in like always. I'm sober now physically, but I mean I'm trying to be sober. I'm trying to be healthy. So as I said earlier, I'm going to Mexico, and my goal is to lose 15 pounds by the end of April. So I have basically 6 weeks at this point. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think I can lose 10 pounds from today, like 10 more pounds from today to when I leave. When did I just say? I just said I was leaving. I leave Tuesday, April 26th. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have like 6.5 weeks basically to lose, I'd say another 10 pounds. Which is doable. It's just slightly less than 2 pounds. I'd like to lose maybe 12 pounds. That would be ideal. So 2 pounds a week. If I can do that, I'll be fucking stoked. That'll make me, because I gained some weight obviously in the last little while. So I'm trying to be sober for a month, and I'm trying to not be degenerate. But one of the consequences of that is I've been working out a lot, which is great, but I'm like so sore today. I went to strength training on Wednesday for the first time in like 3 weeks, and my trainer just like the guy that like I train with, he just destroyed me. He like, because I hadn't seen him in like almost a month because I've been kind of degenerate, and that's part of the reason I'm like not drinking, is because when I'm in that drinking like party mode, I don't work out. I just end up gaining weight because I just end up eating like junk food and like ordering delivery and like being basically a hungover mess. So I need to cut. Basically my goal is to not drink till April till I go to this wedding, and then obviously I'll have fun at the wedding. I'm not gonna like be my best friend is like also in hospitality, so his wedding's gonna be quite wild, and I don't want to like be like the, you know, the lame one. Not that like being sober is lame, but like it is kind of lame, to be honest. But basically, yeah. So I have 6 weeks, 12 pounds is the goal, based on my current weight as of this morning. I think it's doable, but I need to stay on. I just need to stay on track for that. Like, if I have like one bad week, it's really like demoralizing. My weight loss will stall. And then after that, I want to stay in shape for wedding season, right? I don't want to just get fat right after. I want to continue to stay healthy for the rest of the year, and really have like an active like outdoor summer. Last year I did a lot of like, I went to like a lot of like camping parties and like a lot of like other kinds of like recreational activities that were like not super healthy because there was a lot of, you know, partying and stuff. But I wanted this year kind of focus more on like healthy, actually like health activities, like outdoor stuff. I might do the Whistler Grand Fondo, which is a so if you guys have ever if you guys know Vancouver, there's an event or in bike racing or bike cycling, grand fondos are like kind of races, or like and so they have a event here called the Whistler Grand Fondo, and it's basically there's like a racing division which is like leaves at like 6 a.m. and then there's like a regular folk division for like everyone else, because it's like basically it's 122 kilometer bike ride, but it's from Stanley Park in Vancouver, which is at sea level, to Whistler, Canada, which is a ski mountain 122 kilometers north, and it's about, I think it's something like 15 or 20 kilometers of elevation, it's like quite a bit of incline or something crazy like that. Like I can't remember how much it is, but or maybe it's less than that. It's a lot though. Basically it's like hills, and it's not just like you're going up to the mountain. You go up, then down, and then up, and then down, and then up, and then down, and then eventually make your way to the top of the mountain. And I did it actually about like 5 years ago, or maybe it's longer than that, and it took me about 6 hours to do the ride. That's how like intense it is. It was like 6.5 hours, and it was like pouring rain. It was awful, but it was like, it felt very, very good to accomplish it. It's like one of those things where it's like running like a triathlon or like running like a marathon or doing something like that. So I'm tempted to sign up this year and just kind of force myself to do it, and like get ready for it. I think that would be like a good goal for me to like work towards, and it'll keep me kind of like accountable, I guess, because I'll have this like thing that's like coming. I won't be like, you know, just kind of, because one of the problems with like weight goals is once you hit the weight goal, oftentimes like your fitness and or lifestyle kind of just reverts back to what it was before. So like you spend all this time dieting, you spend all this time exercising, making all these changes, and then when you hit your goal, right, you're like, oh sweet, I'm there. And then you're just like, hey, I'm gonna eat what I want, I'm gonna drink what I want, I'm gonna go back to like all my old bad habits. That's definitely something, because my weight yo-yos a lot too, so that's definitely something that like I've been guilty of. So if I do sign up for this thing, it'll give me like a good goal to work on. But it's a fucking intense bike ride, guys. Like, I don't think you understand like how that much, if you don't cycle like road bike, that much climbing or elevation is like brutal, right? It's like there's sometimes you're going like up like a 6 degree grade hill for like 25 minutes, and it's literally like, it feels like it's basically like you're going straight up a hill, you know? But I'm tempted to. I need something like that. I need a in business we call it a BHAG. Stands for big, hairy, audacious goal. So I need a BHAG right now. I need a big goal that I can like kind of put ahead of me, like besides just the weight, to kind of get ready for and kind of push myself towards. Because if it's just the weight, then as the weight comes off, I'll feel like I'll probably slack, which always happens. Every time this happens, I work really hard to like get skinny, and then I hit my goal or like very close to my goal, and then it all falls apart because I stop. I'm like, you know what, like I'm there, I'm super close, and I don't need to like continue, and I'll just basically like ruin it all within like 3 months, and then I go through this like cycle, right? I don't know what you guys are like with that kind of stuff, but it's just a bad cycle, and I need to like be better. It's like the Friday Night house music. Anyways, that's kind of what's going on with fitness. And then my goal as far as 40K this year. So the 40K league that we have in Vancouver starts May 3rd. I don't think I'm gonna be ready there, but we do have like a little bit of an escalation league. So I'm gonna try to play some games like 500 points, 1,000 points. And then there's a small 1,500 event, charity event coming up in like, I think around the summer. I'm gonna hopefully be able to go to that. And then my goal is basically by halfway point of the year, like July, I can have 2,000 points painted at least to play, even if it's not like the best 2,000 points. So I can play events again, because I really want to. Tournaments are always like what motivates me the most to paint. That motivates me to play. And with COVID now, basically like they lifted all restrictions. Mask restrictions are gone in BC as of today, and as of April 9th, I think all the vaccine restrictions will be gone. So like you won't need vaccine cards, and already like size restrictions are gone. So basically, as of assuming nothing else goes horribly wrong, we'll be basically back to normal by May, which means we'll get events again. We'll hopefully be able to travel to the States pretty soon, a little bit easier, even though we can go right now. And so I'm excited for that. And I just want to be in a place where I've got some reps and I've been playing the army and I can like play the game, because I literally haven't played a game since October, since the Las Vegas team tournament in like October last year. And I haven't even played the new missions, to be honest. I haven't even really looked at them. You guys are all so quiet. Alright, here we go. I think the brown's done. Ish. Look good. Alright guys, I'm probably going to call it there. It's kind of an impromptu stream anyways, but I just thought I'd kind of jump on and say hello and make sure you guys are live. I will post a stream schedule for next week. I'm going to try to hopefully get these scouts done, build my next project, which I think I'm going to do the 2 night spinners next, just because I'm tired of pinning infantry. And I will hopefully be able to get those started next week on stream. So have a great Friday night, have a great weekend, and I will talk to you guys soon.